Got a college hoops question. Get to that. Good morning, 97.1. Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park, Gov and Greg behind the glass on a Friday. Hour away from the cookie jar. This is one of my favorite, on paper, we'll see how it goes, that we've done in a while. Some texts. John is not a GQ guy. He's a BBQ guy. Big Boob Quarterly.
Yes.
There's a 0% chance John reads GQ. He's way too much of a manly man to know how to read. I hope some nerd reads this to him, Dan and Troy.
I do know how to read.
Kate on the cover of GQ, by the way,
yes.
on a day where then he goes out and drops 42 at Madison Square Garden, says, I'm the best American player. I don't take a back seat to SGA or Jokic, and says, yeah, I think I'm the MVP. Playing like that, nobody more valuable to their team in the NBA than Cade Cunningham.
It's a great statement.
And look, they're going to play SGA and him head-to-head a couple times before the end of the season. Not that any two games should decide it, but it could tip the scale.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to look at some MVP voters, and they're certainly going to look at the head-to-head competition.
But Cade is not a slouch on defense. Like, he's a plus defender. They don't hide him like some teams do with their stars. SGA is also a very good defender. Cade, probably the better passer. SGA, the better shooter. It's a little bit of, what's your favorite flavor? But these are two guys at the very top of the sport right now, and Jokic has to play every single game to qualify for MVP. But yes, he's the other one. I think it's a big three right now, and I think Cade's more valuable to his team than those guys are to theirs. Everybody's feeling themselves after last night. Saturday, we have Michigan-Duke showdown. Michigan's on top of the world right now. Number one team. They just beat Purdue at Mackey. 6 straight wins by double digits. Everybody is looking at Michigan and feeling good. I wonder if there are some who would admit to feeling jealousy. Can we have that honest conversation with Spartan fans? Are you jealous of what Dusty May and Michigan basketball are doing right now? Are you man enough to admit that? Or does the rivalry, I will never say that. John, when Michigan State's rolling, you can say, hey, I'm jealous of what they're doing. Can State fans say the same about Dusty May and what he's doing at Michigan?
I mean, I can't answer that question from their perspective. I can tell you there have been a number of times throughout the course. Now, obviously not during the Beeline era, but before that, after that, yeah, there's been a number of times where I've looked and I'm like, I just would have loved the consistency of knowing that you're going to have a really good basketball team every single year. You roll out the ball and you know this is going to be a good team with the potential to be great. And it's human nature to be jealous of what someone else has. And so, yeah, there's been plenty of times. And to be honest with you, if Coach Izzo is ever, and I've got a lot of respect for him, and I loved his quotes about how you can hate your rival and still respect him, and that's kind of how I've always operated myself. A lot of respect for him and how he does it. And I know that there are some Spartan fans that are very upset at how he does it because of today's day and age of college basketball, the business of college sports. But I would be very jealous if he was able to take third-year, fourth-year guys that he recruited, that he developed, and then go win a championship. Because in my heart of hearts, I want to see somebody be able to do that, whether it's Coach Izzo or somebody else that comes along because they're just able to recruit a really great class. They don't go to the league.
Yeah, but that's where you lose me because those guys do go to the league. Like
right, I know. But so I don't even know if it's possible anymore. Right. He's probably the only one that could make that a possibility.
Like for the purity standard of Izzo does it the right way. Well, okay.
Well, he does it the traditional way. I don't want to say the right way because it's different now.
But walk with me here. Izzo's doing it in some people's eyes.
Short steps.
Mine or Izzo's.
Either one.
But for those that feel like Izzo's doing it, quote, the right way. And there are people who feel that way, John. Well, you do it the right way, and your captain, Trey Holloman, says, I'm going to transfer to NC State anyway. You do it the right way, and Jace Richardson says, even though I'm not going to be a top 10 pick, bye-bye, I'm going to go sit the bench in Orlando. Doing it the right way doesn't give you the reward. Dusty saying, Yaxel, I got all the zeros and the dollar signs. I mean, yeah, you should be jealous if you're Michigan State going, why didn't we go pay Yaxel? Could you imagine if Yaxel played for the Spartans? He's a mercenary. He's not from the state of Michigan. He didn't grow up with maize and blue undies. He is there because they paid him. Why didn't Tom Izzo shake the money tree? He doesn't have the stature? He certainly does. Like,
well,
John,
there's a lot of guys that play for Coach Izzo that didn't grow up in the state of Michigan. So, whether you're wearing, green and white undies as a toddler or maize and blue undies, that to me is irrelevant.
But would you be jealous? You can't answer this. You're not a State fan. But like a State fan could be jealous saying, why didn't we get Yaxel? Or why didn't we get this player in the portal? Why are we so tepid when it comes to portal season? And Dusty, I'm jealous of the fact that he goes out and he got good players who fit one another and they have the best team in the sport right now.
Well, so I want to go back to what you said about the right way. The right way is whoever wins the tournament, that's the right way. But I will say that Coach Izzo does it a more traditional way. And everybody knows, and we talked about this with GQ and all that, BS, I'm a more traditional guy. So I would be jealous if he did it the traditional way. But I'm not going to sit there and say I wouldn't be excited and on the verge of euphoria if Dusty May is able to win a championship this year, because whoever wins the championship, that's the right way that year.
Yeah, look. Michigan's poised to do that. They have not done it yet, but we've talked about it. They have this in front of them to go down as a national champion, but also one of the iconic national champions. They have one loss, and their margin of victory is incredible. Yeah, I mean, look, just on paper, you want your team to beat everybody by double digits, win the conference championship, go to the Final Four, and win the national title. And Michigan is the team best positioned to do that today. So, will Spartan fans be honest and admit, yeah, they're jealous of the fact that that's Michigan and not them? I don't know. 248-539-9797. Or, hey, Izzo's doing it the way you want him to do it, I guess. I don't know.
So as a Michigan fan, though, I got to make an admission here. And I've had a tough time adjusting to college athletics and where it's at and NIL and the portal and all that. I can't sit here and love what Michigan's doing and praise Dusty May and then have the attitude that college athletics is in a bad spot right now. Do you see what I'm saying? I think he's not getting enough praise. We hit on a little bit at Wednesday. He is on the path to pretty much duplicate what Cignetti did at Indiana.
Yep.
Like, first year, you got to the Sweet 16. Cignetti got to the playoff. Mm-hmm. Then Cignetti won it, and it looks like Michigan has a great opportunity to win it. And if he does it, he's ahead of the curve of where college athletics is. So why doing it the other way just doesn't make sense anymore.
You're making it harder on yourself. And John, if you could maybe fill in the blanks here. Last year, Dusty he signed that extension with Michigan, but there was like, hey, Indiana opened, who knows?
Yeah, it was a GA there under Bob Knight.
As we've heard a million times. Yeah. But Dusty stayed at Michigan, and I believe part of staying was obviously you get money for yourself and your assistants, but he wanted an NIL commitment. So for him to seek that out, knowing that this is the landscape, he gets credit for that. Yeah,
I mean, and I think part of those negotiations, I don't know the inside story of those conversations, but it had to be, hey, if you want me to stick around here, first of all, I'm going to need a lot more money, and for my assistants, like you mentioned, but I also need a commitment from the university. And I need a commitment from donors. Yeah. So get on the phone and talk to these donors and assure me that I'm going to have the money to put together a roster that I need to compete. If it's just a percentage of, or an increased percentage of the rev share that is handed out by the university, then I need that commitment as well. Right. Like, I can't imagine it's hard for Michigan football to get $1 million. No, you get on the phone and you call some alum and, or alumni, and you're able to raise, I don't know, $15, $20 million. It's a little bit harder for Michigan basketball to do that. Right. And Dusty being in his first year still at the time going, hey, I need money so I can chase down players like Yaxel Lendenborg. Well, who's that? He plays at UAB. You got to trust the coach. You got to give him the resources to go out and do it. Right, and but Michigan now reaps the reward. And if you win a championship or you put teams out there year after year like Dusty is in 2 years, now it's easier to pick up that phone and say, hey, from whatever alumni, I need $1 million for this player.
248-539-9797. Are Spartan fans jealous of what Dusty May's doing in Ann Arbor? It's 97.1.